Hi, my name is Megan Kaun. I'm a Qigong teacher and healer. And if you want more information on me or my classes, you can visit my website intothehum.com and of course subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos like this. Today I want to talk to you about a concept called Haola. So Haola is a Chinese word and it roughly translates into all is well and getting better, or simply that everything is good. And Haola is a reference framework in itself. And if you haven't seen my video on reference frameworks, I'll put a link to that in the notes. So Haola helps reprogram the way we see ourselves and the way we see our lives. And it can be very, very helpful. I use the concept of Haola, all is good and getting better, everything is good, when bad information comes my way. So in our lives, limiting information that would limit us living out our perfect destiny, basically, comes all the time. And this information comes in the form of sometimes medical diagnoses, off the cuff comments that friends or experts might make. Pretty much any sex or diet advice in our society, things we see on TV, information we get in the news, anything that comes to us and limits our idea of what is possible for ourselves in our life is limiting information by definition. It limits our possibilities. And the concept of Haola for me has been very important in helping me break the patterns I had of fixating to that information, getting really attached to something a doctor said or something a friend says. Now, that doesn't mean that we use Haola to put our heads in the sand and not listen to what other people might tell us about our physical reality that we definitely need to navigate. But it helps us keep our options open and it helps to remind us that we don't know. We don't know what different information can mean. We don't know. And so in staying in the place of I don't know, in staying in a place where we admit that we don't know everything, that we can't know everything, we can keep the options of possibility open. Um, I like to tell a story that I heard in a book called God's Hotel by Victoria Sweet. And in this book, she talks about working in the Alzheimer's dementia ward. And in this ward, people had all sorts of other secondary diagnoses in addition to their Alzheimer's or dementia diagnoses. But the secondary diagnoses like cancer or heart disease or other bad things, right? They never progressed. Or very rarely progressed. They didn't progress certainly like the patients that were in other wards with those same diagnoses that did not have the Alzheimer's and dementia. And she postulated that this was maybe because they couldn't fixate on that information. They couldn't remember it, right? If a doctor told them you have stage 4 cancer and have 2 months to live, they didn't remember that the next day. And so, in not being attached to that information, they allowed other possibilities to open up. It's actually kind of like the placebo effect, just the other way around, right? So the placebo effect is someone takes a pill, a sugar pill that doesn't do anything for their condition, but a doctor told them that it would, and so it does, right? Placebo effect is extremely effective. So the placebo effect works the other way also. Somebody tells you something really bad is going to happen, and all of a sudden it happens. You manifest it. So the concept of Haola, in my experience, has helped me stay out of that negative loop. If I encounter something in my life and I can feel it sticking, I can feel that not great, feeling in my body when something comes at me that might limit my ability to live the life I want to live, I can gently give it a few howlas. And this has, again, been very helpful for me and also very helpful in my family life. So we all, my husband and 2 kids, are now in the habit that if somebody carelessly says something that strikes us in a way that feels limiting, we can make light of it by saying Haola. It doesn't mean we ignore it, but we allow ourselves to not get attached to it so that it can coexist along with any other information in our field. And then we can sort of choose this information more consciously to make sure that we're choosing information that helps us live a more free, loving, harmonious life outside of worry, which can be really difficult to flow, the emotion of worry. If we're constantly flowing worry because we're concerned about something happening, that really gets in the way of our healing and our awakening and our receiving of wisdom. So Hala I can really be helpful. I hope that this video was illuminating for you today. Again, if you want to check out any of my other videos, including my 12-week class on Introduction to Awakening Consciousness, that's on YouTube. And I'll put a link to that in the notes. Thank you very much.